Pedro, can you give us an update on injuries? How's Bruno?
So Bruno, after the 3 days he spent in Madrid, he arrived very, very good. Arrived much better than he left. So he's still with the physios making the recover. So we think it's still possible, but we need to check and keep assessing.
Still possible for the game on Friday?
Still possible for the game, of course. That's what we are here to speak about, right?
What's on the cold light of day? No doubt you've analysed the game at the weekend. What's your overriding feeling in terms of how that match went from a Rangers point of view?
I thought the first half was more on the direction we wanted. We could not perform the best possible way the moments we were having the ball or when we were recovering the ball to perform the first pass of transition forward. But all the time we did it, and we arrived especially on the wide areas and placed some crosses. We arrived there with danger. I think the way we concede, and in the moment in time we concede the first goal, the things become more difficult. But the team, from the minute 55 when we concede a goal, 50 until the minute 65 when we concede the second one, show a great reaction. Have a couple of chances to make the equalizer, but after the second goal, I think it's a totally different history from the game, and the game was done.
I think you said after the game you're looking for a reaction to see what sort of reaction have you had so far?
A very good reaction. It was not a long week, normal long week from Tuesday to Sunday, but it was a week with time enough for us to work on the situations that we need to improve. So I refer you already about the first pass of transition for us to look the game forward, always try to receive the ball and go forward, not just play safety passes, let's say it like that. Get inside the enemy's lines and try to to explore the spaces on the back. And also the team to be more compact, especially on the second balls. It's from where comes the second goal, in order for us to be quick enough when we need to arrive in front and compact in front, or in that situation when we need to be quick enough to compact on the back when the second ball is on the back. So that's basically what we have been working along this week.
Are you a coach and manager that encourages a dialogue between players after such games? Mm-hmm. Open, frank discussions.
That's normally I always finish with one question. Does someone have something to say? Normally, we never receive one answer. But yes, we encourage with questions, with facts, with the analysis, with more like on the cognitive side and about to take decisions. But yes, that's some sort of tool we use with our players.
It's been claimed and even reported that the debrief after this match amongst the players and the coaching staff got rather heated. Is this accurate? What can you tell us?
I can tell. You ever been in Las Vegas?
Yes.
So what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. So that's the first thing. You arrive there and you cross the border. That's what everybody says. I can tell you what I can tell you. I'm not going to tell what I don't want to tell you because it's private, and I'm not going to discuss with you what I'm discussing in the breakfast with my family. So I'm not going to discuss with you that I have with my team.
But without revealing what was said, you're comfortable with what was said?
I'm totally comfortable. I'm not that type of guy that say one thing that don't feel that thing, or is totally knowing what's going on. But as I told you, Las Vegas is a great city. You enjoy too much, but what happens there needs to stay there.
Okay. After the game, also, Pedro, you said that maybe the pace of the game was a bit quick for Carlos. He found it quite difficult in that sort of fixture.
No, I didn't refer that after the game. Definitely not.
You said you thought
you can take your old tapes since day one until this day, and you are not going to watch for me saying one thing in one moment or saying another thing in another one. When I was young, the boys used to call me Elephant. You know why? Because elephants have a great memory. and I have a great memory, so I know exactly what I say in each one of the moments. I refer about Carlos, and I can tell you when we took the team pick back in Ibrox, that was that discussion, and I refer the points that Carlos would need to improve in that moment in time. I never refer it after the match.
How do you think he did in the Old Firm game then?
I think on that moment or on that specific actions that we identified that he needs to improve, he still needs to improve. I remember, for example, just give you two balls. One that he receives on the back of Scott Brown and is not quick enough to turn and face the game in a fantastic conditions to make that deliver with one fantastic pass of transition in front, and after looks the game forward, and he allows him to make the tackle to recover the ball. In the beginning, minute 48 of the second half, he had one ball that can play with Josh, and we are also the first pass of transition to play forward, but for someone that is coming from back lines and face the game, and he didn't. And we take one transition, and we start like that the second half. But all the other situations that you saw playing the pass forward was with Carlos. So we know the type of player we have, and we know the type of work he still need doing it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, again, Pedro. Carlos had a specific training program, I think, before joining with the first team squad. How would you assess his fitness at the moment?
Decisions and the restriction of one thing that is space and time has nothing to do with fitness. I can show you the data, which we have on a daily basis. And the data basic goes for the total distance cover, that's 1 point, and you also have the high intensity runs that the players do in each one of the sessions. I can tell you that since long time from now, Carlos is on the top 3 of that list.
Who else is on that list? Who's in the top 3? Sorry.
The rest is in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
You said towards the end of last season you were disappointed at leaks coming out from Rangers. How concerned are you that it's maybe coming from the players themselves?
No, give me more confidence. Give me more confidence.
Why does it give you more confidence?
Because I'm a confident guy, and I believe that the things you speak in Las Vegas need to stay in Las Vegas. So that means if the things are coming out, it's because someone didn't like the game that we play in Las Vegas. That's all. So I'm happy with that.
There's obviously need for the squad to gel, time for the squad to gel. How much more time do you think you'll need before you know your best starting 11?
No, everybody knows what they are doing here in Rangers, and we know what we are facing. I always think, especially about this week, that we are facing one of the biggest challenges in the history of football. I'm trying to remind, for example, in Portugal, never passed nothing in any club like this. In Spain, nothing. Italy, Juventus, one season. I don't remember also in England. But what passed to Rangers is unique in the world. And the way we are coming back, and we know that we have that vision and we are working hard in that direction, that's what really matters. That's what really make me get out of my bed early in the morning and get tired because we worked all day long, and know that it was one more day on the direction we want to take the club. So that's what really makes me happy. And the other thing is that Bill Walsh, you know Bill Walsh? So one of the most famous football coaches, American football coaches in the world with the 49ers, he just wrote one book that the title of the book was The Score Takes Care of Itself. But in order for the score takes care of itself and the club gets back to the position we want and we will keep fighting for, you need a lot of things. You need to change a lot of things. And when you change a lot of things, that means that everyone needs to be ready for the change. And you need to be persistent to have that change. So that's what I'm doing.
So you feel you might need more time to implement your changes
No,
fully?
Look, I can tell you something. I'm here in six or more or less like 6 months this time, right? And I can be totally clear with you about this. I might leave tomorrow. or I might leave in 10 years' time. But for sure, leaving tomorrow or leaving in 10 years' time, the one that came after me will have the level that we delivered the job in a different position on the direction that we want. So that's what I'm doing. As I can live it better, but I'm not going to give up to follow that vision.
Just based on that, Pedro, you come across as a guy who pressure doesn't get to you.
No, at all. And maybe that's why it's so confusing for you as well in some moments in time. I'm just focused to do my work. I was thinking also, of course I was thinking about the things. If I was taking care about listen to the radio, reading the newspapers, get on the social media, I was not having time to do my job. And I was getting crazy by everything that is written and said down there. So no, definitely not.
But when it comes to agitation amongst the Rangers support, you would listen to that?
To what, sorry?
If the Rangers support started
of course,
voicing their concerns.
We play for them. We play for them. And I always have the will to do my job for them. I think it was especially for them that the club's still alive and still a big club. Because the history, the trophies are there, and the fans, the fan base. So we work for them, of course. And they are only happy when they win. And we are only happy when we win. But we know what takes the job because we suffer as a professionals, and we suffer as a fan because I'm blue inside as well.
Pedro, I know you spoke quite extensively about it after the match on Saturday, but if I may ask you one more time, Brendan Rodgers expressed his surprise with your touchline incident with Scott Brown. Do you have any regrets over your conduct over that incident? No,
the only regret is that I'm sitting here. It's Wednesday, we play Friday against Hamilton, and we have no questions about that game. So we are here to discuss the future, we are here to discuss specifically one pre-match preview regarding to the match that we are going to have on Friday. And the only thing we discussed, the only thing we point out was about that we need to react and react strongly.
Will playing on an artificial pitch on Friday night in any way affect your team selection?
No, it's just to remind that all of us start playing on the street. I mean, the olders more than the youngers. It's just a different surface. If it's having the green light from the SFA, so as from FIFA, it's because we can play there. So we just need to go there, forget about the surface, and focus about the reaction.
Are you a fan of such surfaces?
No, I'm not that much. I'm not that much.
They
came like some sort of situation to get over the weather conditions, if they are really hard winter or too much sunny or whatever. So it depends more on that.
Looking at Hamilton and as a team, very hard to break down. Do you feel your comments after the Celtic game has put added pressure onto your players? You want them to react. Do you feel that that's put pressure on your squad to perform? Because if they don't get the result,
I always do the things in one direction. And when you do something, when you take one decision, you always expect one reaction from the decision you take. If it's about one sentence, using you as a vehicle by the end of the game for the players know it since that moment, and after with what happened in Las Vegas, for them to know it from inside and not from the inside out. But yes, of course, we expect one reaction, and I also told that this is the moment for us to show which sort of mass we are made of, and with whom we can count or not. That's the reality.
Just the last one, just going back on the data you said for Pena, that was specifically to Saturday's match, was it? In terms
no, it was before Partick match, so it was a long time ago, 3 matches before. Right. The first one for the league, not for the League Cup.
And this is based on distance covered, etc., your data?
Yes, so we do it on a daily basis.
Aside from Bruno's injuries or any other team news, any other injuries?
So Declan is already with us, as you already confirmed it. and all the others are out from the game. Yeah. So Bruno basically is the only doubt at the moment.